My name is Rita, and this is my testimony.
Christ is my firm foundation, the rock on which
I grew up in a single-parent home. My dad left my mom with 3 kids when I was 6 months old. He just was more into drugs than he was to his family. So I guess I never knew him at all. When I was 3, he ended up killing a man for drug money. And so he spent his entire life in prison. I never met him. And so we kind of moved around. I think we lived in Virginia. I was born in Virginia, Florida, went to Pennsylvania. Then my mom's sister went to Hawaii. She told her just come on for a vacation. So she left us kids with a babysitter and went to Hawaii for a couple of weeks and came back and said God was calling her there. So moved there when I was 5. And then she married a Christian man who began to just destroy our family. He was alcoholic and ended up molesting my sister and I. Just went on for a long time. He'd leave and come back, and it was just a struggle. I was the sweetest little girl, just kind of got beat up by the world. I knew I just wanted something better. I didn't want to end up in a lifestyle like I grew up in. And so I was about, 10. Back, I'm kind of old now. There was like revivals were the thing back then. And there was like a big pavilion in Hawaii, and this guy from the mainland, it was a big deal, came over, and he was just talking. I don't even remember. I was just focused on trying to stay in my seat. Altar calls were like the main thing with revivals, and you'd see like a flood of people, and this one wasn't like that. It was just a few people, but he's like, I feel like someone's in here, who God's just calling. And I was like super shy. They wanted to put me like in play therapy growing up. I think I was still pretty shy, but I fought it for a while, and I finally was like, nope, that's me. Like, he's talking to me. And so just walked down there, just prayed with them, and thought I was going to begin a life just living for Jesus. Then I became a teenager and made some pretty dumb choices. About junior year in high school, we homeschooled 9th and 10th grade, and it's just, I just was bored, missed my friends, and so I asked my mom if I could live with my friend instead of live at home when I was a junior. And so I did. We just were like in a party house, and stopped going to school altogether, dropped out, and just had smoking marijuana every day and cigarettes, just trying to be a cool person. I thought it was the cool thing, and I just hated it. I'd wake up and I was just like disgusted with myself, but it was just easy to just cover the pain. So finally, I think it was 1996, I just woke up one day, and my friend had went to school, and I wasn't feeling it. And I just decided to call my mom. She didn't know what was going on. I lived with my friend, and I barely went home. It was just like a household you didn't really want to go home to. I called, and I said, I told her everything that was going on, and just told her, like, I wanted to get out of there. I wanted to just get back to the life I know I should be living. And so my brother and sister had both went to Job Corps. It's like a government-funded program. And so I told her, like, I just wanted to go there. Well, I had drugs in my system, and you had to be clean. And so I waited it out a little bit at home, and then was able to get into Job Corps. and lived there for about a year. Still kind of like toying with the world, but definitely better than I was. But I would read my Bible and, try to be different. It just, my surroundings didn't help a ton with that, and I wasn't strong enough yet. So then I graduated in 1997, and they wanted to send me to school in California, so I did that. And that was the first time like leaving home. Hawaii was my home, and I hated it. Like, I was so lonely. I cried every day, and I just reached the point like I felt so alone. I began to draw near to God, but I still wasn't time yet. Rita wasn't done being pretty dumb. So my mom finally divorced her second husband and moved to Kansas. She felt called here. And so I graduated in December of 1990. My years, I'm at the point. I think it was 97. And I came to visit her. She just needed some help. And I came for Christmas. And then it just kind of went from there. Me and my sister decided to stay. And again, I wasn't where God wanted me to be. But that was about the turning point. I met my husband in 98. We were partiers and ended up getting pregnant, which I was not prepared for. I was 20. And it just kind of rocked my world, because I realized my son would not grow up in the alcoholic home like I did. So I just, full 180, I was done everything. So he was about a month old, and married my husband. And just, I was ready to change, and he wasn't. It was rough, we ended up divorcing after a year of being together, married. I just wanted my son to grow up knowing God and just being in a safe home. Something I kind of wish I had. I wanted to find a church. I wanted my son to grow up that way. And it was 2003. My husband had been away for a year. We were, in contact, but I wanted nothing to do with him. I wanted my son to be in a happy home. And so fast forward a year, we actually remarried in 2003. Okay, we ended up buying a home in, I want to say 2004. And this time we did it right. We wanted another child. And so ended up getting pregnant like a month after. It's Jessie. Okay, so Jessie was born in 2005. My husband still wasn't quite right with the Lord. He wanted it, but he still kind of wanted the party life. So it was rocky here and there. Lots of hardships we endured just with life. People, God was faithful through it all. Just so many things have went on, but finally I would say, so 2009, we took a trip to Hawaii. I missed home. I wanted him to see it. I wanted the boys to see it. We were there 3 weeks. Weirdest thing, like I got a call while I was on vacation. It was Christmas time that my father had passed away. And it was just a really weird feeling, because I didn't really care. He wasn't anyone I ever knew, but I just longed for a father. That's when I really started to seek out God. I didn't understand how people loved their dads. It was just so weird to me, the thought of having someone there like you could depend on, who was always there for you. And people have definitely let me down in life, and I know I've let people down. But it's definitely just made me realize how much more faithful God is than we are. That trip to Hawaii, it was just eye-opening for me, realizing that He is always faithful. I come from multiple churches, multiple states that's happened, and the last one before Glen Park was really rough on me. It was really hard, and for people who love Jesus to let you down, it just hits different. I worked there for about 6 years, and I swore when I left there I would never work at a church again. You just see different sides of things and people, and it really hurts. And I saw this ad on Indeed, and I'm like, I heard some things about Glen Park, and I heard Father Petey did tattoos, and I thought, well, that's a cool dude. So I reached out, and I don't know why, because I promised myself to never work at a church again. But God had different plans, and coming here just that first week, it felt different. It felt more like a home. And working here has just helped me heal. These guys are real, and they love you like God does, like people should. The family I've met here, it puts the trust back in people, and know that God is faithful. He will bring you where you need to be, as long as you're willing to be obedient. And it's not always easy, but always being obedient is the best option. It's been amazing being here, just seeing how it truly should be in a church, and I'm just forever grateful. So I call Father Petey, well, nope, scratch that. I call Pastor Pete Father Petey, and it's kind of fun. Just he's like our father figure around here, but truly it's coming here. I mean, it's made it kind of weird, but he's like the father I never had, because he cares, and like he honestly cares about what's good for us, what's best for us, and wants us to do, what God wants us to do. And it's just been really good for my heart to heal after the hurt. I just see different people here, and it will end different. I'll probably be an old lady, and they'll be like, Rita, you can't do this anymore. You gotta go before I ever leave. So I look forward to many more years of God just showing himself here, seeing what he does with all of us, and continue to serve him with joy, and just know he's faithful, and he always will be. We won't be. I continue to let him down every day. We're sinners, but we confess it, and we get right back to where we need to be, and just focus on him every day. That's what I strive to do, to glorify him and to just be a light for others. So join me in that. My name is Rita, and this is my testimony.